Howdy everyone, this is Mott, this is the Diamond Society, and welcome back to episode number 26. Yep, I'm not a great aviator, but we got through. Huge thanks to OG for lending me his wings for that, because I don't have my own pair, and that was really awesome of him to do, because that was a really actually fun clip to do. Now, I wasn't entirely sure about using the wings, but I figured it's a 1.9 feature, I'll give it a shot because we're in the new version, and I absolutely love that. That was actually a lot of fun to do. But anyway, going in here, speaking of people being nice to me, let's go over here. Now, in the last video, BC commented that he left a thing by my base. I thought I had been pranked. I logged on to see the damages, but it's even better than that. Let's look. Good vid. Enjoy from BC. We got beetroot and a ton of beetroot seeds. This is absolutely great. In last episode, we worked on the food farm out there, and we currently have potatoes and carrots are the other ones, and we got lots of those. We needed beetroot. We don't have any beetroot, so we didn't build a third layer. Now we can totally build a third layer. It's awesome, but look at how much. We got that many carrots and potatoes. That hasn't been going as long, but we got that in there. We do, in this episode, also need to bring over all the stuff with the minecart rail to get it into here. We do have some more minecart rails now, so it's actually going to be possible. We're also going to be able to finish the one by the fish farm, so that'll be really good. But then we also need to decorate up this area, so that's going to be really nice. We got a lot to do in this episode, but definitely want to start with getting that third tier on. That's going to be really awesome. We do need another farming villager. Now, in the last episode, we had to disable that farm back there in order to get this one to work. I didn't think it would be a problem because we do have other villagers in there. I don't know if we have other farmers in there. It looks like we do, though. So we'll just grab one out of there, and then we'll grab another one of the other ones. And we could probably grab a couple of the librarians as well and see what they trade if we really need to. I don't know how many blank spaces I have in there in order to actually trade with them, but it's not going to be a big deal. We had to disable that one as well. Again, it was too close. I thought it was going to be far enough away, but it wasn't. Not a big deal, though. We have plenty of iron. So now we just got to make the edits to this farm. If you come up here, you can kind of see we did put a little bit of a cap on it, but really all we have to do is get rid of those and then keep going up because of the way we did the top. So that's really cool to see. And then this over here was something that we kind of played around with, and that's the path block. Obviously new to 1.9. I didn't know if I liked it or not. Again, that's going to base it on this, and I'm still waiting to hear from the last episode. That just released today as of recording, so I'm still waiting on a few comments to see whether or not we're actually going to keep this. Same for this little trim right here. I kind of want to hear what y'all have to say. And speaking of which, in last episode, I did ask for y'all to vote on which texture pack I should use, whether it's this, the default 16-bit, Faithful 32, or Faithful 64. It looks like default's actually winning right now, which is kind of surprising, but honestly, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I like all of those texture packs, including default, so it really does not matter to me at all. Of course, it's just what you want to see, because, like I said, I don't have a favorite, so it really is just up to you. And I do want to mention that no matter what pack ends up winning, because I am going to give it just a bit more time, we do change a few things around here, like this. Clear glass, we get rid of those little particles in the middle. The sugarcane as well is always going to be that light colored like it used to be. None of that biome shading, otherwise it would be that ugly brown around here. And then we get swamps that's ugly. It just never really looks good. I really like that kind of pasty color that we used to have. Very glad to see that because it just kind of reminds me of the old days. But anyway, then we also changed the lapis block, which I don't think we have any at the moment. But it just gets rid of the border like it used to. And that was, I don't know, probably 1.5, 1.6, maybe somewhere around there that was actually changed. So we reverted it back. And then the last thing is that the poppies now assume the rose texture. So those are just very minor things, but really it kind of means a lot to me to be able to have that kind of like old looking style stuff. So that's going to be really cool no matter what pack no matter what pack wins. It's all the same. It's all going to look like that. One thing I did add in between episodes though was this. We needed lighting over here. Now mobs are not going to be able to spawn over here. We got plenty of lighting because of all the jack-o'-lanterns. They can't spawn on path blocks, but they could spawn right here. We don't want that, so these are actually just redstone lamps with pressure pads on top of them, and it kind of, where'd it go? Oh, do we have to, oh, well, okay, I need a new one for that, but anyway, yeah, we're using the gray so that it blends in with the path. I think it works pretty well, and especially since that's the only gray in the area, because it's no longer an andesite path, it doesn't pop out too much, it doesn't stand out, it looks like it's a lot more fitting. Had we kept with the andesite and tried to do this just right here and not in there, I think it'd look pretty weird. Like down there, we don't have any random pressure pads. So, to go from this to just right to that, I don't think that would look right. We'd have to be doing that the whole way, which if we do end up going back to andesite, I guess we could do, but it would be kind of annoying, especially to be using that many redstone lamps. But I've been talking long enough. I'm going to go ahead and get done with the third layer so that we can end up decorating this thing. Okay, so if you look at the top here, you notice that there's actually now a cobblestone line going across. And now that the third layer's in, I went up and I checked the light levels, and it's a good thing I caught it this time around because there was actually a couple of 6s and a couple of 7s, so stuff could have spawned up there. Obviously, we don't want that, so the cobblestone line of half slabs is going to stop any mob spawns, which means that that area is completely lit up. Let's actually pop up on top here, and hopefully this makes it. There we go. Oh, perfectly right where I need to be. Okay, so here's that little center bit now. We got the villager right under there that I think actually needs to be changed. This guy might actually have picked up a few things. Oh, wait. I might have spoken too soon. He should be throwing items now. I can't actually see in there. Is he throwing stuff? He might be. But that's what we want. We want him to throw stuff. Go through there and go down. It works the same as every other layer. But you can see, I think this thing might now be taller than the tree farm. Looks like it's got about a block and a half on it. So it's really close in height. It actually has a pretty good height. Now, I love the view from up here, by the way. I really like seeing that right there. That is probably one of my favorite views now of this place. But now, in having gotten up here, I should probably get back down because... Oh, how am I going to do this? Okay, let's just enter pro over there. Because now down here is where all the stuff is collected. And you can see, yeah, this guy is just going ham. Kind of half of it's grown and half of it's not. But down here is where everything's going to collect. I threw 2 beetroot in here earlier. And I'm just going to collect a bunch of this for now so that everything can keep filtering in. Good amount of care. Oh, what that? What? I don't know what that was. But then, okay, well, that's filled up quite a bit too. So we should see more beetroot. I wonder if I've actually left a block in there that I shouldn't have. And the beetroot I'll just collect. I'm going to have to check that out. But I was going to say earlier that I might have to change that villager. It might have a few bits in its inventory and not be willing to breed. I don't know if that's how it works. But if it is, that's not what we want. We want that guy to throw food to it. And if that thing's got food in its inventory, I don't think it's going to. I don't know if that's entirely sure. But we do have 2 extra ones. I think we have a librarian and a fisherman maybe down here. Let's actually pop down here and see. We do have a few left before we had to disable this thing. We had quite a few kind of stacked up down here because this thing did kind of break in 1.9. Now this will try to put it out. Oh, there's nothing in it. Maybe that's why it's broken. But it would try to put it out and not actually collect it because of collision and stuff. So yeah, we got a few down there just in case we need them. Those should have empty inventories because they came down as babies and baby villagers could not actually collect any food. But now we need to get everything out of there. We need to get it all in here. Now in last episode, powered rails were kind of an issue and they're not anymore. We came by a couple stacks of them, got up the gold and such. But now we need to finish the rail coming from over there and then start up this one too. This one will be another underground one as I've mentioned before. And that should come in probably right around here-ish. And then that'll come in right there. So, over here I've also made one more slight adjustment. And now we've got the beetroot here. That was all just from me making the farm though. That's nothing of the farm itself. And we have lots of carrots. Whoa, okay. Right here maybe? We'll fill that in. We're going to fill this thing up pretty quickly. That's actually going to be really crazy. Before we even finish the farm, the storage is actually going to be full. So we might do more storage, or we might even just cut it off and enable some of the other farms if we have to. That might be an option. But either way, we've got cyclable farms now. We've got this one that can be activated, or the other 2 that can be activated, which is not really that bad of a thing. It sounds like it's going to be kind of a pain, but really, it's just breaking a few doors and putting them back if we need to. Iron's not an issue. The only thing that I could see being a problem is the villager breeder back there. But it's 6 doors. That's all it takes. So putting that back is not going to be an issue. But now we do actually need to get everything from here over to there. Alright, few notable changes have been made. First one being the path here is now the path block. And I think this works so much better. It really adds to that kind of savanna, dried up look that we're kind of going for. I think it matches a lot better than the andesite. And one thing we did have to change because of this was this area right here. This was andesite before, now it's stone brick. It didn't look right just going from path block to andesite, so the stone brick serves a lot better. We do have a little bit in the build, so it doesn't stand out too much. The color is also really similar to what's going on around there, and then the path block kind of blends into that. So we just got this total kind of gradient from here to here, and it just all fits together really, really well. So then over here, I've knocked out a few trees and also punched back just a little bit because we, fixed the villager up there. We put a new villager in there, and it instantly started working like crazy. We've got a ton of beetroot now, which is really cool, but now we actually want to start decorating up this area. Now that the path block is done, we know kind of what we can do around here, and I think the first thing I want to do is just to put a trim around this. I'm thinking maybe just grab some leaf blocks and just kind of do a shrub around it. I don't want to do like a perfect square or anything. Just kind of follow just a little bit of a pattern. Along the back, it'll probably be a little bit more flat because we got the flat wall here, and we kind of want to match that. But then around here, just going to swing, and then might even just kind of come back to here. I don't know yet. Maybe we'll just come over here, and then we'll dot a few trees in there, bone meal up the area, and then also add probably a few plants. If you look over here, though, yeah, the pathing, it's not quite done. Okay, we can do that, and we can bring it over here. We have had to wait for the grass to grow, because you can't turn the dirt into path block, which is kind of unfortunate, because that means that we do have to wait quite a long time before we can actually do anything. And of course, we can't just have the dirt sitting in the middle, otherwise nothing's going to spread to it. And yeah, you can actually see that that's disabled now without the doors. But anyway, let's pop over to the storage unit and actually see how much beetroot we have, because it really is insane. And we do have the cart actually going over there now. That comes in right there. Oh, there it is right there. So you can see 45 beetroot just from one trip, which is insane. This is the only one really that goes way back there and then kind of turns off. You don't really see that on any of the other ones. Let's actually, though, head up. You can see the chest is right here, and this was empty before. Now we've almost got a full double chest, which is insane. We've got over a single chest. I don't even know what I'm going to do with them yet, but it's really awesome to have them. I don't know if villagers will actually trade them. The farmers might, if they're generated in 1.9, or if they kind of like get born in 1.9, I think. I don't know how you would say new villagers, but those might be able to trade it. I'm not sure of the other ones, but I think farmers would be the only one that makes sense, or maybe none of them actually do it. I have no idea if this actually works. Now, looking at this, it might break up the kind of natural feel that we've got going on around here. This is all done up real pretty and just kind of, like I said, natural looking. And then the flower pots, I don't know if it just kind of destroys that or what. I'm going to leave them in for now. Let me know what y'all think. Oh, I can actually get up there. Let me know what y'all think. But, yeah, you know, I don't know. I can really go either way on this. I like how it breaks up the gray, but again, I just don't know if it's all that fitting. Everything around here is just kind of plain and just kind of like a natural looking thing. It looks like a garden, but then we've got flower pots like that. So, not entirely sure. Although, now going over here, something that I am pretty sure on is that we've got this trim going on around here. And we've got this extra one little going off here. This little thing that kind of branches off. We'll have leaves on top of all of this. I just kind of ran out. This area is not big enough to do anything in, so we'll just do something kind of more natural looking. Maybe something more up like what's up there in this area. And so I just decided to block it off so that we can build more stuff back there. But this goes all the way around, just kind of wraps around in a big old circle, and then comes up here and just starts to line right up with the path here. So we could even potentially just do the same shrubbery on this side and then build something on the other side of that, which is pretty cool. But then in this area, we're not actually going to be entering. So this whole thing could just remain grass, and then we can put the tall grass on top of it. Maybe just a bit of flowers in there as well. But it's really not that big of a deal to focus on, you know, what's actually on the ground. That could just be kind of plain. Not a whole lot going on. More or less just kind of like this. But then what we really want to focus on is what's above it, because we are going to be able to see what is above these leaves here. So we'll have some like taller trees going off to the side, some of the acacia trees, maybe mix in an oak tree or two. Some sugar cane could be a really good idea as well. Maybe a few jack-o'-lanterns or just regular pumpkins if we line them up right behind the leaves, because you'll be able to see that through it. Again, with the flowers too, just kind of focus on getting them closer to the shrubs, and then you actually be able to see the color through, which could be a pretty cool thing. But as for what's further back, not a huge thing to worry about. Really just want to get some kind of that big stuff going on around here, and then we'll do somewhat the opposite really over here. We don't want to put too much big stuff, maybe just like one tree right in the middle, and then we want to focus more on what's on the ground. It's all about what you can and can't see, and I think this will be a lot more fitting just to focus on lower stuff here and then higher stuff over here. And one other thing to mention is that Optifine's back for 1.9. It is currently in the kind of like the pre-development or the alpha stage, I think is what it's actually labeled as. If you go to the Optifine website, you can go to downloads and then hit previews, and then 1.9 will pop up. Pretty awesome, because now we can zoom again, which is really, really helpful. Really great view right here of the nearly completed build. There's a few tweaks I have to make, like if you look in there, you can see that that tree actually grew right into the farm. It's not a huge deal, but it isn't ideal. The villager cannot actually harvest anything underneath those leaves, so, you know, we could remove it, and it's got a few more to harvest. But yeah, we stuck to the plan pretty much exactly. We did the acacia trees going around here. I didn't mix in any oak. I just did the acacia. I don't think it looks too bad, although I don't know how much I like this actually growing like kind of like right up against it. That's not something I really planned on. I was kind of hoping that they'd all kind of arch over outward, but you know, it's not the worst. I mean, some of these stubby ones I'm not too sure about. But then going around, we also have some sugarcane in here, and a great way to hide the water is to drop this down one block and then put the water underneath this grass block here, so it's not actually visible, which is really good because we don't want to be seeing all that blue. So then this just goes around the back. We got all the leaves finished off as well, which is pretty awesome, and then we just bone mealed the heck out of it. Got a few jack-o'-lanterns seated underneath some leaves in the ground for lighting, so nothing should be able to spawn in here. And then coming along the front, you can see I did the thing that I said with the flowers and just kind of lined them up here. Now over here, it's just yellow. I could use some red over here, but I should probably go and get a few more of those because over here it looks pretty good. Over that in here, I tried something just a little bit different. We got the single oak tree right here, and then a few of the fruit blocks dotted about, and also I started growing some wheat. Now this is actually going to be visible, whereas in here it's not too visible. Although doing this, I guess it might be. At least the tops, the little brown parts will be visible. Not a huge issue, really. I think it looks just fine in there. But out here it works pretty nicely because you can't actually see the whole thing. And then instead of just spamming down the grass like I did at first, just everywhere around here, that didn't work too well, so I cut it back. I was a little bit more conservative with it, and just left some blank patches, and then just a few areas where we just have a good amount of grass. And then I also cut out each flower, so we don't have any of those little bits of color, just these few fruit blocks, and then the color also comes from the wheat, and then we got the brown in the tree. I think altogether it works pretty well. Now over here, we're going to have to do something similar. I'm not going to do that in this episode because I don't actually know if I'm going to build something over here or if I'm just going to keep it more kind of like that natural look. I'll probably end up putting something over there, but it's all going to depend on how much space we actually have and how much of a build we actually want to do, you know, how big it's actually going to be. But now there is one other thing that I've noticed that is quite unfortunate, and that this farm, well, I say unfortunate, more just mind-blowing. This farm's actually too efficient. If we come down here, this is the overflow chest. This is all the items that cannot get sorted because they're either not a part of it or because it's just full. And carrots have overflow. We're even back here. We're probably several hoppers back. So we now need to go back there and we need to create a way to actually get those out. We need to be sorting them out and then really we can just toss them because that means we have 3 double chests. So we can just burn anything of a carrot at least that's going to go into that chest. And we'll just create an item filter back here. And then we'll just make an item dispenser that just shoots everything into lava. And that should take care of all the issues. I just need to be really careful with the lava because there's a lot of wood around here. So I have no idea what's going on. But there's a random nether portal down here. This was just activated a moment ago. I broke it. I don't know how long that's actually been down here, but that would explain why I've been hearing the nether portal noise around in this area, which is right by the entrance. And not very close to that actual portal. Man, I thought these noises were just a lot louder in 1.9, but that could be the issue. I don't know how long that's been there. There's also a random rail down here. Again, I don't know what's going on. Shady things are happening. But anyway, we're filtering out carrots right now. They all go into this dropper here, and then it'll shoot onto this cactus right here as soon as I activate the circuit. So if I can actually get up here, we're just going to do this. It'll start blinking, so whenever there's an item in here, it's just going to shoot it off, and only carrots will actually go in here. Now, I have noticed that beetroot seeds are also making their way into here, so apparently that villager can throw those, and yeah, I've just tossed a bunch of carrots that came into here, but we are going to keep these for just a little bit. I've been storing a couple. I have plans for them. Not going to share right now, but I do have plans for them, so let's just toss those back into here. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Go and subscribe for more, but anyway, this has been Mott, and I'll see y'all next time.